Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what is up, and welcome to episode 3. Okay. I'm not in the best of moods. Fastlane discussion. We're gonna talk about it extremely briefly because I would much rather forget about the past and focus on the present and future. That being said, let's get down to business. Let's go straight to the straw poll. What is the match we are going to be watching here tonight on episode 3? With 38% of the vote, Seth Rollins versus WWE Champion Triple H. Alright, open the show with Bubba Ray Dudley coming out and Brock Lesnar squashing him. Brock Lesnar took him to Suplex City and handedly defeated Bubba Ray Dudley. So that was a match, and it happened. It was actually pretty, to the tune of a Brock Lesnar match, just crushing Bubba Ray. Then we had a triple threat match with Paige, Sasha Banks, and the women's champion, Charlotte. Charlotte defeated Paige and Sasha Banks, and that was an okay match. It was actually okay. It was pretty cool. There's some good moves going on in there. Charlotte took advantage as women's champion and won that matchup. Very good for her on her debut here in my universe mode. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Stone Cold whooped the ass of Jim Neidhart, and Jim Neidhart would not give up. Stone Cold kept punching him in the face, made him bleed, pinned him for the 1-2-3, did a top rope stunner almost to defeat Jim Neidhart, and Stone Cold won that match. However, he did cause Jim Neidhart to bleed. That's a $500 penalty for the Legends champion, the Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was not happy about that, by the way. So I expect that you won't be getting any signed photos from Stone Cold Steve Austin in this in the future, because you voted in that WWE medical policy. Mr. McMahon versus Lex Luger. This match is, I watched it, and it happened. Lex Luger won, and that's all there is to say about that. Big Show versus Bray Wyatt. This was actually a very good match. It was number 2 on the polls for what you guys wanted to see. I kind of spread my bets. I wanted to see one of everything. I wanted to see the Triple Threat Divas match. I wanted to see this match, and then of course, wanted to see Seth Rollins, Triple H. And all 3 of those matches were great matches. Big Show, Bray Wyatt battled each other. Chokeslam from the top rope. Didn't put Bray Wyatt away. Multiple Sister Abigails didn't put Big Show away. Bray Wyatt finally hit a final Sister Abigail, defeated the Big Show. However, he made Big Show bleed, so his winnings are not $1,000. They are only $500. But Bray Wyatt is out of the gates in the green. He is in positive in my general manager mode. Alright, then we're going to go to the main event. It was John Cena versus Randy Orton. John Cena once again winning this matchup. A very simple match, but at the end of it, this is what was interesting. Randy Orton pretended to be, well, not really, this is what the WWE says.com says, but in my view, John Cena was just being a good guy, trying to help Randy Orton up from being hurt from the attitude adjustment, and Randy Orton popped up, hit him with a nice right hook, closed fist, knocked down Cena, and walked out of the ring. So, heel turn for Randy Orton. Randy Orton and John Cena will be on very different pedestals by the time we get to Extreme Rules, but John Cena still winning. He is the most winningest superstar in my general manager mode at 3 wins, 0 losses, and that leads us to our featured match of the night, Seth Rollins versus Triple H, the current WWE champion. Let's get to it. I'm very excited for this matchup. And while these superstars come out to the ring here, we are going to be discussing the events of Fastlane and really my disappointment. Before Fastlane started, I was out visiting with my family, and UFC was on, and I just decided, you know what, I don't really want to watch Fastlane. So I didn't. And I think that's really what it'll come down to. I followed it on Twitter. I watched most of it on Twitter. And for the majority, it was an okay show, I guess, from Twitter standards. I don't even know who won the Divas match. But to me, when I showed up, I looked at to see what was going on with the New Day and Christian and Edge. And that was fine, whatever. And then I saw the AJ Styles Chris Jericho match. I saw highlights. I did not see that match. I'm going to go back and watch it. And then I watched the main event. And right before it began, I tweeted out, here's to hoping they pull the trigger on Dean Ambrose tonight. And even in Cleveland, which I guess is really close to Dean Ambrose's hometown, I suppose, so maybe that can account for it. But to be honest, I feel like the WWE's making a mistake not pushing Dean Ambrose over Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns spears Dean Ambrose to win the #1 contendership status. It was a good match. It was a great match, actually. I'm not even mad at the match. The match was very entertaining. I was just kind of upset that we're going to go with Roman Reigns versus Triple H. Okay? It's like the most basic story that you can do. It's going to get predictable. A lot of people are going to be upset and angry. And to me, I just don't think that Roman Reigns has the charisma or the wrestling ability to make that main event match interesting. I don't see it happening. I just don't see it. And then I tweeted out because it reminded me of a scene from the Breaking Bad series. There's a scene where Mike is getting pretty upset because one of his lackeys has just been murdered. And then we get this awesome scene in a car where Mike just freaks out on one of the main characters. And he just goes, "You're not the guy. You're not capable of being the guy. You never were the guy. I had a guy, and now I don't have a guy." And that's how I felt about Roman Reigns. He's not the guy, WWE. But WWE is the boss, and I'm just, the lackey who watches the WWE product. It's not my call. There's nothing I can do to sway the WWE's mind on Roman Reigns, I guess. The only thing that I could do is probably just stop watching Roman Reigns. I mean, people can go on Twitter and they can boo and they can get mad and they can get upset, but all that's really gonna do is show the WWE, oh look, we're getting interaction. That's what matters. Okay? I disagree, but I think the crowd really showed who was the two over people in that arena. It was Brock Lesnar and it was Dean Ambrose. Every time Roman Reigns would do anything, the crowd would hate it. I think that many smart wrestler fans, I think they don't view the crowd the same way I do. I don't see that crowd booing Roman Reigns, the character, or booing that Dean Ambrose lost, or booing that Brock Lesnar lost. I see them booing that someone like Roman Reigns is even in the main event in the first place. And that's knocking Roman Reigns, but seriously, Roman Reigns is not the guy. To me, he is not the guy. I was not impressed with the Fastlane main event, even though the match was great, and even though the story makes sense, because no matter who won that match, the storyline could make sense. It just didn't go the way I wanted it to go, as, Rollins, high risk, gets dodged out of the way. And that's just how it goes. That's fine. If we get an awesome Brock Lesnar Dean Ambrose singles match at WrestleMania, I'm cool with that, I guess. That's fine. But, if they go with the Wyatts versus Undertaker, Kane, Ryback, and the Big Show, which would be stupid, especially because the Wyatt family lost. And then if they go with, the New Day with Edge and Christian versus the League of Nations, it's like, I mean, you've got the New Day, and if you turn them face, they can go up against the really big baddies, the heel Dudleys, and they can switch the New Day into the faces for the WrestleMania. I mean, there's a lot of good things that they could do. I just don't think that they're going to do it, because Why would they? WWE has not shown any confidence in their superstars lately. I guess the only exception to the rule would be the New Day. And everybody else, like Dean Ambrose, they cut the legs straight out from under him. Dolph Ziggler, they cut the legs straight out from under him. Alberto Del Rio, when he came back against John Cena, had the whole crowd against him, had a great storyline. They cut the legs right out from under him. Rusev, undefeated streak, goes to WrestleMania, loses to John Cena. That's fine, that's okay. John Cena should win over Rusev at WrestleMania. But then they cut the legs right out of him. They throw him in a jokey romance storyline. And then as soon as it leaks that he's actually really engaged, they just throw him in the garbage group. Sheamus, when the crowd doesn't accept Sheamus, WWE undercuts Sheamus. They throw him in the group. It's really sad. And poor Wade Barrett, King of the Ring for 2015, legs cut right out from under him, became a jokey character with Stardust. Even though I love Stardust, I mean, there's so much they could do, but they just choose not to. They choose Roman Reigns, who nobody, I guess a lot of people like, but I don't really care for, maybe. And maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. You know, and you know what? I'm going to put out a straw poll right now. Is Roman Reigns a good wrestler? I'm not talking about just wrestling ability, like hitting a pedigree or punching or being believable. I mean the total package. Who's a better wrestler? Like, let's kind of gauge it here as we see this pinfall. Nice. As we see this pinfall. Is Roman Reigns, let's start kind of low. Is Roman Reigns a better wrestler than, let's go with, right off the top of my head, let's go with Jeff Hardy? I say no. Is Roman Reigns a better wrestler than Seth Rollins? No. Is Roman Reigns a better wrestler than Dean Ambrose? I say with Dean Ambrose's current moveset, they're about the same, but the difference between Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns is that Dean Ambrose can make it believable that he's a crazy person. Whereas Roman Reigns, he's almost like Hillary Clinton if you pay attention to the political stage, where you know that he's lying, or he's acting, or he's being facetious, or he doesn't really care. And that's just how it goes with me and Roman Reigns. And that's just how I feel. So my feeling towards Roman Reigns, and this is going to be my final thing, is, and I'm going to finish the quote of Mike from Breaking Bad. Roman Reigns, you're not the guy, but it's not my call. Uh-oh. But it's not my call. So you're just going to sit here, we're going to go to WrestleMania, you're going to get your win over Triple H, you're going to become the WWE champion, and then when Dean Ambrose beats you with the Money in the Bank briefcase, you're just going to shut the hell up and sit in the back seat. That's what's going to happen. Because if they don't, I might just lose it. I didn't watch Fastlane. I didn't watch Fastlane. Oh, man. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about Fastlane, if you watched it. I was looking forward, as I said in yesterday's show, I was looking forward to AJ Styles. Oh, Triple H just got fined. I was looking forward to AJ Styles and Jericho, and then I was looking forward to maybe the New Days segment with Christian and Edge, and then I was looking forward to Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose possibly winning in the triple threat, but they did not do that. So I'm very interested to see what they do tomorrow with this whole Vincent J. McMahon award. It's obviously a play. Like, someone's going to interrupt something. I don't believe that this is a real award, but we'll see. So let me know what you thought about Fastlane, what you think about Monday Night Raw tomorrow, our preview of it, and tomorrow on Smackdown, I'll have another video out and we'll discuss it, and we'll try to figure out where they're going on the road to WrestleMania. Like I said, don't be too upset. It's the WWE. They're bound to disappoint you. And to that, I say watch NXT or watch Lucha Underground. You won't be disappointed if you watch those shows. Seth Rollins defeating Triple H here. Let's see. 2, And 3. My rant is done. Unfortunately, it took up all of episode 3, but that's the way it goes. If I feel pretty upset about something, it's going to take up a whole episode of one of these. I mean, this is actually a short match. I was not a very long match at all. But Seth Rollins does pick up the win. Triple H gets fined $500, so $500 from Triple H to cover the medical bills. Seth Rollins is to $2,000. He moves up to 12 points. He's 2-1. And Trips is down to 1-2. And I'm going to put in a straw poll now. Because Seth Rollins defeated Brock Lesnar, he has just defeated the WWE Champion. I am going to make the straw poll of, does Seth Rollins deserve, at Extreme Rules, a shot at the WWE Championship? Yes or no? If not, then maybe we'll let the computer decide. If yes, it'll be Seth Rollins versus Triple H at Extreme Rules for the WWE Championship. I think he's definitely earned it. And let me know what you think, guys, down in the comments below. I've got all the data right here. By the time you watch this episode, it will be in the system, and we'll have the updated straw polls for tonight. The first one, does Seth Rollins deserve a shot at the WWE Championship at Extreme Rules? The second one, which match do you want to see featured on episode 4 of My General Manager Mode as we discuss the Raw review almost, and where they're going with the storylines. So, that being said, I want to thank you for listening to me rant for 17 minutes. If you did not, sorry, that's how I felt. I was going to spoil Walking Dead, but I can't do that either. Let's see what matches we're going to be seeing on SmackDown. Okay, so match numero uno, Finn Balor versus Christian. Last week on SmackDown, I said that Christian versus AJ Styles was probably the match of the night. It was an awesome match. Finn Balor gonna open up SmackDown, gonna probably prove that he is just as good as AJ Styles. That should be a pretty interesting matchup. Do you want to see it? If so, vote in the straw poll in the information box down below. Kevin Owens, Adam Rose, Heath Slater, 2 members of the former Social Outcasts, battling against Kevin Owens. Interesting. Very interesting. A triple threat match. Do you want to see it? If so, vote. Make your voice heard. Kalisto, a one-on-one matchup against The Miz. Last week on SmackDown, or a couple days ago, you guys were absolutely right. That Kalisto match was a very good match. Out of the Kevin Owens one and that one, you guys were right. The democratic process was correct. Kalisto's match was the best. He did not end up getting the win there, but Kalisto versus The Miz, I like that match. I really like that match. Kalisto wants some revenge on The Miz for pinning him last Friday night on SmackDown, or Thursday night. Darren Young and Titus O'Neil versus Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. I'm not looking forward to watching this match again, but it's gonna happen. So that's a tag team match that you can vote for. Daniel Bryan versus Dean Ambrose. Another matchup here on SmackDown. Okay, so they're rematching from week 1 of SmackDown. Will Daniel Bryan's damaged neck and back be too much for him to take against Dean Ambrose once again? That'll be a pretty interesting rivalry. Let's really quick go check. Okay, so nothing crazy. Let's go to the main event of SmackDown. Main event of SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen. AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is 2-0. He's got $2,000. He has tied John Cena so far as the most winningest superstar. Cena just barely beat that, but Sami Zayn has an opportunity to beat AJ Styles in the main event of Friday Night SmackDown and tie John Cena and actually be the winningest superstar with the most money. So, those are your matches. We've got 6 of them. I'm going to go back through them very slowly. Here's your first choice. Of course, you can always see them in the straw poll as well. I want to remind you guys that in the straw poll accompanying this, Does Seth Rollins deserve a shot at the WWE Championship? That'll be in a straw poll down below, along with which of these 6 matches should be featured as we discuss Monday Night Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that this isn't really a review show, but during Sunday night pay-per-views and on the road to WrestleMania for sure, and Monday Night Raws and Thursday Night Smackdowns and things where, like Daniel Bryan's retirement, when those things pop up, I want to discuss them on this series to kind of pull away from just the simulated game and kind of give you guys my thoughts on the current product. And that being said, our business here is concluded. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Keep it up. The spreadsheet should be updated by the time you hear my voice. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Ciao.